Welcome back to the Vegans Who Lift podcast. We are your favorite bodybuilding vegans. I have John Thomas, my co-host, aka the Bodybuilding Vegan, and I am Brooke Sellers, Miss Meatless Muscle. And today we are talking about a very fun topic that everybody can relate to: burnout, and burnout of all kinds. So whether you're burning out in the gym, you're burning out with your food, you're burning out with social media, we're talking about it and giving you some strategies today.
Could even be your significant other. You never
Yeah.
know. Oh God, not me. Not today. Um, yeah, burnout is real. I think what's hardest for me though is like I don't know I'm burnout until I'm burnout. If that makes sense. Like there might be a million warning signs like burnout in 5 miles, burnout in 30 seconds, 5 feet ahead, burnout, 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 burnout. And I'm like, it'll be all right. And then I'm like neck deep in burnout. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm burnout. Yeah. So, where I'm gonna defer to you. Where are you experiencing burnout, or where have you experienced burnout, and how do you fix it?
Whew. That's a very open-ended question, and I could say so many things. I would say, I will say this: I rarely ever get burnout on the gym or working out. I love that. That is my therapy. I don't ever get, well, I'll say it like this: I never get burnout on exercising ever, because it's just, you feel so much better after. So even if you feel like you're burnt out, you do a workout, you feel better. um have I gotten burnt out on the gym? I will say yes. The gym specifically, especially when I was in prep and I was spending like hours in the gym every single day, I just got sick of being there. And I think that's actually a pretty easy fix. I would never tell anybody like, stop exercising completely, but you can do some other things like get outside. Like when I get sick of the elliptical or like my cardio machines, which normally I even like my cardio machines. Like I love the elliptical. I'll just get outside. I'll just go walk outside. You could go do that, or you can even just change up your cardio. Like go do a cardio class. Some people like that. Go do, one of those biking class. I had a membership to Hot Works for a while because it was just something different, like I could just go and do like the little yoga class, or like they added a stretch class. So I would go do that just for something different, like, just a different kind of movement. I've even changed gyms. Like I just got sick of the gym I was going to and like the people there and the crowd. And it was like the same time that I was going every single day, it just became overly crowded with like teenagers and stuff. So I just changed gyms, and oh my God, like my love for the gym just came back and it was awesome. So I think there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of work around burnout on working out. I guess, I don't know. I mean, if you're tired of a certain type of exercise, I would say just change your exercise, but don't stop moving completely. That's an issue.
You hit some great points there. I didn't even think about the gym side. Like I go to so many gyms now. I'm always on the road and I have multiple memberships here. But for like a period of 5 years, I went to the same gym. That was it. It was a small gym. I knew everybody there, like literally every single member. And it's like, what a Groundhog Day thing to go to the same gym at the same time of day with a split where it's like Monday is chest, Tuesday is legs, like for years. Yeah. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Switch it up. Why not? I mean, as Allie is finding, it's harder for her because she's usually following me around to like whatever gym I go to if we're traveling. She's like, well, I did 100 pounds on this machine at the other gym, but this one I can do 150. I don't know if I got stronger or what. And it's like, yeah, from tracking and purposes like that, it's a little bit harder. But to avoid that burnout, hell yeah. If you need to do cardio for heart health, that can be done indoors or outdoors. If you needed to burn calories, be done indoors or outdoors. Find ways to make it work for you. And I think also too, you and I both love lifting. It's not really that hard to get us to go lift. Like we kind of want to. Maybe you're listening to this and you're like, I'm a vegan who lifts sometimes, but that's not what lights my fire. Maybe it's kayaking, maybe it's rock climbing, maybe it's plyometrics or yoga. Like, go do your thing. Like, you don't have to lift. If you want to be a bodybuilder, yeah, sorry, dude, you're gonna have to lift. But if you want to be fit or healthy, find what speaks to you. And there's way more than one thing in life. So You don't have to get pigeonholed into just one, oh, I have to go to the gym and lift weights. Like, there's more out there.
Yeah, I also think, I mean, you could pull back your training. I know for me, I've started training 4 days a week, and I tell you, I like after a rest day, I am ready to get back in there. Especially the 2 days, like when I have Sunday and Monday off, and like Tuesday, there ain't nothing stopping me from getting in that gym come hell or high water. Like I'm ready to go. So I don't know. I think that might help some people too. Like if you're training, if you're one of those people trying to train 6, 7 days a week, and then you're getting, which is not optimal. Anyways, that's another podcast. We've talked about that. Go through them. You can listen to it. But if you're training like, 5, 6, 7 days a week and you're getting burnout, pull your training back. Like then you get so excited when you do get to go train. Like today's my rest day and I'm like, I want to go train.
Yeah, I feel like for experienced athletes, like if you know how to push yourself, hell no, you don't need to be training that many days, not 6 days a week. Hell no. Like for
Yeah.
me, I never go more than 3 days in a row. Never. And like if I do 3 days in a row, it's usually not like push pull legs. It's like just chest, just back, just arms. Like I try to break it up now because I can elicit a lot of stimulus out of a single session. As you're if you're newer, it's a little harder to do that. But most people like I don't know if you're feeling beat up 3 or 4 days in, and you're gonna go try and do a fifth day. It's like what do you really think? Like what I tell my clients is like, do you think you could go hit a PR if you went to the gym today with how tired you are, or how beat up you are? The answer is like, oh yeah, I'm a little bit tired, but I could definitely hit a PR. Okay, then go. If you're like, "Oh, no, I'm too sore, take the day off." You need the day off anyways. For me, I'll talk about my own personal burnout for a minute. I think that'll be helpful, and then we can go back and forth there. I have been working underneath a coach for 5 years straight. I decided late 2019 that I wanted to get on stage in 2021. As soon as I got off stage in 2021, I decided I really want to try and go pro. Competed in 2023. Did not go anywhere near pro. Learned I'm at least probably 2 years out from going pro, and it's a little bit overwhelming. It's crazy to see how big these guys are. For reference, I'm in the off season at like 250 pounds, and I see guys at my height that have turned pro, and they're in the off season at like 280, 290. Like I still have a fucking mountain to climb. And so I try my best. I do eat off plan some, but I never miss training days. I never don't at least count my food. I never skip cardio. I never miss a check-in with my coach. I'm pretty locked in. And then at my level of the sport, there's drugs and other things involved too. And I was thinking about this while I was watching Simone Biles on the Netflix documentary that I mentioned last week. And she got married in between the previous Olympics and this upcoming one. And her husband is an NFL player. And she's like, "It's weird to do this, but I'm taking care of my mental health. I'm at his game a week before I have this preparation to do." And everybody else is like, "Why would you fly all the way across the country and be over?" And she's like, "It's because I want my relationship to work. I want to support my husband. 4 years ago, you never would have seen me doing this, and that's why I got burnt out. That's why my mind started fighting me." And so I'm like, "Dang, all right. Like if this Olympic gold medalist can take a week off." And her mindset was, if I have this week out of the gym to get myself right, then the week that I'm at the gym, I'm locked in 100%. My mind is not elsewhere. I'm not thinking of other things. And so for me, I was like, oh man, it would be really fun to like go, I don't know, hiking for a week, like in the mountains. And I was like, oh, but I couldn't go to the gym. I couldn't be a bodybuilder if I did that. Well, what if I took a month to go to a road trip? And like, I'll lift sometimes, but I wouldn't be that good of a bodybuilder if I did that. And I'm realizing what I'm doing is I'm trying to operate 100% of the time between 98 and 100%. All that's been doing for the last couple of years is burning me the fuck out. Tracking everything, weighing myself every day, weighing all my food. On prep, I didn't eat out for over 20 weeks straight. I cooked every single meal myself. I didn't even trust like a significant other to help me make food. Like did everything. And it's just burning me out. And so I'm thinking like if I could just take a week off every year, maybe even two, I could do this for a long time. And like, this is a revelation I just had the other night on the couch. And I was like, oh, that's the secret. If you're an athlete and you're like I don't want to say exceptional. Okay. I'll say exceptional. If you really do push and you really are locked in 99.9% of the time, I think it's okay to take that scheduled break every now and then. And I think I'm gonna start implementing this, and I think it's gonna allow me to compete a lot longer. Like, I've been having daily conversations with myself, like, "Do I wanna get back on stage?" It's so limiting. It takes so much out of me, and it's like, maybe instead of being a 100% bodybuilder for the next 2 years, I could be a 93% bodybuilder for the next 5, and I think I'll get further that way. Maybe I'll need to lock in when it comes time to prep, but I could be deep in the off season and go hiking for a week and not undo all the progress that I've made the last 15 years. So, anyways, that's one way that I think I'm gonna deal with burnout is be really realistic. Like if I'm on vacation or I have something that comes up, it's okay to not be the best bodybuilder that I can be 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you there. Totally get that. Because I've been super restrictive for, I mean, really ever since I started bodybuilding, like competitive bodybuilding. Like when I was training before I started competing, I gave myself all that leeway. Like I rarely missed the gym, but like if I was traveling and I wanted to eat a bunch of food, like I did. I wasn't like worried about being up 2 pounds when I was back. It was just like, yeah, I'll get it off. Like, not a big deal. But like thinking about that now gives me a little bit of anxiety. Like going on a trip for a week,
Yeah.
because it's like shit, well, I'm gonna undo the progress that I just made. But competitive bodybuilding just adds a whole nother layer of of pressure, I feel like. And you hear a lot, there's a lot of mixed stuff too from like the pros. Like you get pros who are like, no, there's no off season. Like this is 100% all the time. Like you never stop grinding and you never stop working and there's no days off and you have to make sacrifices. But then there are some pros who have like kind of a more sustainable lifestyle. I would say especially in bikini, I feel like bikini is a little bit more sustainable. So there's plenty of girls who don't even compete for years and then they come back.
Yeah.
Um, but I do think it's like individual too. Like there's some people who eat, live, and breathe bodybuilding. Like Ashley Kaltzwater is that way. And she competes all year, every year. It's her life. Like she loves it. And some people are just not that way. And I think you just have to know yourself. Like I'm certainly not that way. And I'm realizing that. Like I love bodybuilding. I love the sport. It is a blast. It's so much fun to compete. Like love show day, love the entire process to get there. But it's a lot. You sacrifice a lot. And then yeah, it's like you said, like me, it's like, well, I wanted to go on a trip. But is that going to interfere with my prep? You know, am I going to be able to take all my food with me? Am I going to have access to a decent gym? Is it going to be some crappy apartment gym? And then you're starting to sacrifice life in a way. So I feel like you can't be 100% all the time. And I struggle with this too, like totally. Because I'm the same way. And in a way, routine makes me feel good. Like I love a routine, but at the same time, it can just kind of take away from other parts of life. So you have to just like be easy on yourself and know, and yeah, have that mental talk. Like, I'm not going to lose everything if I just take a week off. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. Honestly, I think, man, I'm having like a therapy session with myself right now. Um, I think this is addicting. I think for you and for anybody that's achieved even a relative level of success for themselves, it's like, oh, okay, I used to bench 100. And then the next year it was 150. The next year it's 175. Okay, well, I'm still going up, but it's going slower. Okay, now it's 180. Next year 181. It's like, whoa, why this slow down? Okay, I'm gonna hire a coach. I'm gonna track all my food. Okay, now it's moving again. Now it starts to slow down for the second time. And you're like, oh, I only got 7 hours of sleep last night, not 8. Okay, I'm gonna lock in my sleep. Now your sleep's locked in. It's like, well, I did eat one meal off plan last week, or I missed one meal because I was busy. Now all my meals are locked in. My pre-workout's locked in. Gym's locked in. Oh, I train a little bit better at 5 p.m. than I do at 3. Even though the gym's busy, I'm still gonna go at 5 because I feel like I do better at 3. And then it's like every single aspect of your life has been meticulously crafted to go get that high. oh, I improved on that lift. And when you improve on the lift, at least for me, like I just hit my rack pull PR. I don't give a fuck. I don't care that I just had to sacrifice, that I had to eat those meals or do my life in a certain way. Like I'm so happy to get that high for about 5 seconds. Then I'm like, all right, I need to hit the next numbers.
Yeah.
How else can I rearrange my life and do everything to hit this? And if I do rearrange my life and the next week or the week after I come back and I hit another PR, oh, it's great. It's great. Like, cool. I'm getting my high. I'm getting my fix. The problem comes is when you don't hit the PR. Maybe something happened outside of your control. Maybe your grip slipped. Maybe somebody bumped you during the set. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the reason is. Or maybe you didn't get enough sleep. You didn't get your high and now you're upset. And it's like, it's one thing if you've been locked in. Now it's like, okay, I didn't get the high and I've done everything right. Or you've been off plan and you don't get the high. So you go back and you rewrite the whole plan and it's just like almost self-abusive. Like if you just replace like hitting a PR in the gym with finding crack behind the dumpster, like it would be the same. If I don't find crack behind this dumpster because I didn't go at the right time, I'm gonna go at a better time next time, or I'm gonna get up there earlier. I'm gonna lift the dumpster higher. I'm gonna go harder. Like I'm gonna find out. And it's like that's how. Sorry, I know I just went on a rant, but like the
Yeah,
part of this is addictive.
for sure.
And when you know you have control over your addiction, you want to lock everything in to the point where you don't want to go with your family out to eat. You don't want to go on vacation. You don't even want to go to the next state over. Your friend wants to come over early or stay over late. Nope, sorry, I got to get up and train the next day. It's easy to get burnout at that point. So,
Yeah.
whew,
It's hard because it's fun, so it's like you're walking that line of like, "Ooh, this is really fun, like, this is a blast," but then where does that line end where then it's like you said, it becomes self-destructive, and I think, it's like you said, there might be signs, but, like, you're still going 100 miles per hour past those signs, and it's like when you hit the wall is when
yeah,
you realize, "Okay, I need a break," and sometimes it's just like that, like, I'm kind of like that, so I'm at a place where I'm honestly really burnt out too because I competed the entire year of 2022. I did a show in June and I did a show in October. So I competed. I was in prep that entire year. And that year I was dialed in. I went even harder than I probably should have. I did extra cardio. I did all the things, everything my coach asked me to do. I did it. And I think after that, then going through my health issues, which I had to be even more restrictive, having my gut issues, there was less things I could eat. I had to eat less. I was like almost eating under my BMR. It was just it was so restrictive. And then now to like go into a prep and my body's really still not even there. It's been too much. It's like it's been way too much. So like for me, um, I've kind of had to step back too and figure out like what am I gonna do because I feel like I need a break. Like doing my check-ins. I mean, I'm with you. Like I check in every week. I never miss a check-in. That's just how I do. Um, but it's like also I'm paying for his advice. I'm paying for his service. So why would I not? That's the whole point is you hold yourself accountable. Doing all my training, doing all my steps, doing everything that I'm doing and I'm just not really where I wanna be. I feel like I just need a break because I've been in a deficit for so freaking long, and I've been restricted for so freaking long, and so I feel like I have to pull the plug on competing this year, which was really hard to do, um, but in a way, when I did that and I had that conversation with my coach, it just, like, felt like a million pounds were off my shoulders. It felt really good, but and I don't know, and maybe I just need like 2 weeks off and then I could hit the ground running again because I'm kind of in that mindset that you are. I mean, I don't want to just give up everything completely. Like I love it. I do want to get back into it, but I think for right now where I'm at, like my diet fatigue is awful. Awful. Like definitely thinking about food all the time. I can't trust myself in food situations. So my diet fatigue is just really high. So I feel like I need some time off, even if that's just 2 weeks or 1 week, and then I can get right back to it. But I think that time off is what's key, is the balance.
yeah, yeah, 100%. And I'm proud of you for even being able to think that way. Because it's not easy to pull back. At least for us. For anybody listening that's like this, I think there's like kind of two personalities. The athlete that needs to be pushed, they need a coach behind them yelling and kicking and screaming like, come on, do more. And then there's the athlete that needs to be dialed back 5%. And that's you and I. That's why I refuse to be self-coached. I would probably just about kill myself again. The last time I was self-coached, I gave myself a hormone disorder, had to get put on TRT. Like, my brain can work me harder than my body can be worked. So yeah, it's hard to take that step back. And it almost sounds wrong to say it. Like, I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Like, I don't want you to not work hard, not you or me or anybody listening to this. But I think if you've done this long enough, it's got to be healthy to take a little step back, and
Right.
both physically and mentally. Like, facing that diet fatigue, it's probably multifaceted. It's probably not just mentally, are you tired of not being able to ever eat off plan, but your body's probably also tired of being on lower calories, and it's starting to slow down your metabolism. So almost like going back to semi-intuitive eating for a little bit might not be the worst thing in the world. Might actually be the best thing for you. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's key is like I mean, we both have been doing this for a really long time. So we're certainly not talking about you do it for a few weeks and then it gets hard and then you want to give up. Like you've consistently been excelling at a high level for a really long time and you just need a break. Like I think that's okay, and food is hard. Food is a tough one because it is like you said. I don't know if I could intuitively eat right now because I
yeah.
think I would, intuitively eat everything. So just being honest, so that one is a really really tough one. And I think you just have to know yourself too in that situation. But I know with my clients, usually I'll just give them a little bit of extra calories, and that helps them with their diet fatigue. And then also like working in things that they may feel deprived of, or even like free meals. Like I think free meals are huge, and I haven't had a free meal since I can remember. And sometimes like a free meal is really just all you need. Just like the whole thing of it, like the not only the food, but just like going out, the experience, being with people, just feeling like you're normal. I
Yeah.
think that alone can just be huge. Like if you've been really restrictive with your food for a long time, maybe you just need a big refeed, or like even a refeed weekend, and then just get back to it and then just keep going from there.
Yeah, 100%. This is not for somebody that's been on diet for 2 days and they're like, I'm tired of this. I think a good barometer would be you've been doing it for a while, whether that's a month, 3 months, a year, and your progress has stopped. If you're not getting any stronger and you're eating all the food in the world and you're actually eating, like you're tracking with a food scale and weighing your food and counting your calories, and you're just getting fatter. Like, that's the thing. If you're gaining body fat or gaining body weight, but not seeing strength increase in the gym, might be time to take a step back. Maybe take a deload, maybe do a little mini cut. Same thing. If you've been cutting your calories, and this is where having a good coach comes into play, because things will happen. You will start to retain more water as you're losing fat. So you might not see it on the scale. But if you're losing strength, you're not losing weight, you're looking worse each week in your check-ins with your photos, I need a little bit of a diet break. Especially if your cardio is high, and someone like you, Brooke, who was doing 15,000 plus steps every day for the last forever. Yeah, I think I think you need a little break too. Um,
Oh yeah.
so
Yeah, long overdue. Yeah, I mean, like, it's hard because I don't have the results. Like, I've made some good progress. It's just not all the progress I've wanted to make. So I mean, I'm down about 15 pounds, but like I have more that I want to lose. So, it's like it's where I'm at, and I've just kind of had to accept that and like be like, okay, well, this is where my body's at. Let's look at the long term goal rather than the short term goal. Um, and you have time. Like I put all this pressure on me, like I don't have time, and I have time.
bodybuilding can be a long-term sport. I mean,
Yeah.
Kamal El Gardini, he's a 212 men's open pro. I think he was 52 when he won one of the Olympias, like within the last
Oh
couple of years.
wow, cool.
Um, Dexter Jackson, the most winningest athlete of all time, competed up until his early 50s. So like, you got time. We all got time if we want it. And they even have masters divisions too. So it's like, yeah, where is all this
Yeah.
self-imposed pressure when there's no finish line? I mean, it's your life. It's there's a lot more out there. I think switching gears slightly, 'cause we talked a lot about it from a physical side, more of the mental burnout. When we had our academy class, Alex asked, "Do you guys ever get burnt out with social media?" And I thought it was my initial gut reaction because I'm an asshole is like, "Duh." But when I thought about it from an outsider's perspective, they were probably looking at us like, "Oh, these people are relatively proficient at their job. They're teaching an academy about running a business and being a vegan coach, and they've got their pages with thousands of posts, and it looks easy for them. So it probably is easy for them, but like I'm getting burnout and I'm new to this. How does somebody that like how do I be like them?" And then when I thought about it from that perspective, like, oh, we make it look easy doesn't mean it is. um, there are days where I just go blank and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about today, or I don't know what I should post. I mean, lately I've been dealing with the other side of the burnout. I've got so much to post that the social media calendar doesn't ever stop, and I got things scheduled for the next week out, which is overwhelming in its own right, especially when I forget something. But my creativity does take a dip if I keep pushing myself to post, and I'm sure. I mean, you've been on Instagram, I think, a little bit longer than me, so I'm sure you've dealt with it as well.
Yeah, that it's a tough one because like we were telling our academy students yesterday, at this point it's a job. Like
Yeah.
it's yes, we have fun with it and I guess that's kind of how I handle it. There was a point, especially early this year, where I was so burnt out on social media. I wanted to take a break. I just wanted to get off of it. And I really looked at what I was doing and I was like, I'm not having fun with it anymore. Like I'm not posting the things that I want to post. I'm posting the things I feel obligated to post. I got in this rut of like obsessing over the analytics and posting things that would boost my analytics and I totally took the fun out of my page and that's the whole reason I started doing it. It was supposed to be fun. And same thing with competing. Like I say this to my friends all the time. I'm like, look, if it's not fun, that means you shouldn't be doing it. And you said this to me yesterday. You have to get to a place where a prep sounds fun again. Like if prep doesn't sound fun, if it sounds like a pain, then you need a break. That's kind of how you know you're burnt out. So when it sounds fun again, that means you're ready to go. And same thing with social media. Like if you're not looking forward to your posts, like I have posts now that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to share this. Everybody's going to love this. Like people are going to be so excited to see this recipe. I can't wait for everybody to try this. I'm excited. I'm actually excited to post stuff. And that's where I know, okay, I'm in a good spot. And I also did dial back my posting schedule. I was posting 5 or 6 days a week. Now I'm doing 4 days a week. And my engagement is still the same, but it's just one less day. I don't have to think about it and I don't have to be on there, or I could just be on there as a user and see what my friends are doing. So that's nice too. Again, like the gym, you kind of just dial it back sometimes.
Oh, I need to hire you to be my social media coach. You're always a step or two ahead of me because I'm like, wait, what does she mean go from 5 days to four? I'm back at seven. I know I had kind of promised I would take a day off, and now it's hard for me. I'm sure it's hard for anybody, but like for me, it's hard because I I feel so ungrateful when I speak like this. So I'm very grateful for all my sponsors and all the opportunities and all the people that engage on my posts, and I now have a lot of obligations. And so I will maybe record a PR at the gym and I'll be like, "Oh, I'm so excited to share this." Like even just for me, I'm excited to put it out there and I'm like, "Oh, but I can't even share this for the next week because I have stuff every single day." And even Sunday was like my day off. But now I do have a couple people that like to collab with me, so I let them collab with me on Sunday, and I don't go on Instagram as much, but it's still like a 7-day operation, and I'm like, I don't know where to pull back. I think that's part of burnout is, like, learning about yourself and learning, where are you willing to it feels like you're making a compromise, but really it's like you're choosing yourself. Where are you willing to choose yourself that you weren't before? And I clearly am still struggling even as of this conversation with that.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough one. I mean, lately I have turned people away who wanted to work with me because I'm like, look, it can't even fit in my schedule at this point. So unless you're gonna pay me just some ridiculous amount of money, I can't refuse. Like I can't do it because it's just not gonna be worth the stress and the anxiety and then me trying to fit that in somewhere and add 2 more posts to my monthly schedule. Like it's just not worth it, like unless it's some awesome opportunity. So but I know myself and I kind of know I know like if I had 2 or 3 more required posts that I, owed to some company this month, I wouldn't I'm going to be stressed out. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn this down. Um so yeah, but I feel like it's all about balance and then just kind of like making sure that you're having fun with it with anything, making sure you're having fun with your posts because that's what it's all about. I mean, that's why we started it. It was fun. So if it's not fun, something's got to change.
You're so right. Yeah, it has completely changed. It started out as just fun, and then started to get some traction, and that was fun, and then started to get some sponsors, and that was really cool. And then now it's like analytics and comments, and did the post perform well? A lot
And
of
like
a lot of pressure on top of the fun.
it is, it is. But truly, because I was like, 4 days a week. I was kind of nervous about doing 4 days a week, but I had seen some people say that Instagram was actually like, favoring accounts that were doing 4 to 5 quality posts a week rather than daily posts per week. So I was like, I don't know. I'm just gonna trust this and just see what happens. And it actually has been fine. Like my engagement has still been really high. Like we said in our last episode, being yourself, I think when you're actually excited about your content and you look forward to your content and you're putting out good stuff, like people can tell, people can feel that. And your posts do better. So I feel like that's kind of why, even though I've scaled back a little bit, they're still doing really well because they're posts I'm excited about and I put a little bit of extra time and effort into, a little bit more engagement to. I promote them a little bit more. So I think it kind of comes full circle because people like that you're excited about what you're sharing and they're more likely to engage with you and it just people feel how genuine you are through your posts.
They're gonna pick up on the energy that you're putting out. There are days where I have not wanted to record stuff, and like, if I don't edit the video correctly, you see my face like so upset at like a portion of it, and it's like, what are you doing, man? I guess that's where it becomes more like a job than fun. It's a
Yeah.
fine line. It's definitely a fine line. You ever get burnout on being vegan?
No, I do get burnout just on the vegan bullshit though that people, just this shit. And it's kind of funny because I feel like isolated in my own little world sometimes on Instagram where I follow all these awesome vegans and it's just like common sense. But I was literally at the gym the other day and I was telling someone that I was vegan and he was a competitor and he was like, "Oh my gosh, you're vegan?" He's like, "God, you must have to take a ton of supplements." Like he's like, you don't get anything you need from your diet. Like my sister's a vegan and gosh, like she just has no idea what she's doing and all this and it just like went on this long tirade and I'm like, here we go again." Like these people still exist.
Yeah, yeah. It's a never-ending battle trying to educate people, even if you're not trying to like convince them to make the switch or even do anything different with their life, but just be like, oh yeah, yeah, I survive. People are like, yeah, yeah, you've done it for a few months now. No, 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 I got the head tattoo. I've been vegan for 18 years. I'm like, what? No way. How do you build any muscle? And I'm like, you see that horse out there? Like, you're not asking the horse how it built muscle. Like, it's common sense. The plants can deliver the amino acids that you need. Takes a little bit of work to be a bodybuilder, but just to be a general health fit vegan, it's actually, I think, easier than being a standard American diet to be healthy. I think if everybody was plant based, at least, that we'd see a lot less. But there's burnout for me because I have done this to myself. I mean, I usually choose to leave the house with a vegan shirt, but now with the head tattoo, doesn't matter if I'm having a good day, bad day, hard day, easy day. I'm me when I go out, and even without the head tattoo, people usually look at me. But now it's like I'm always on if I'm outside, even if I'm just in my neighborhood. That's the vegan. I have to uphold a standard. And now even my car, like people, I mean, I got bodybuilding vegan on my car, so it's like I can't drive like an asshole or anything. It's like always on, which usually isn't a bad thing until people just feel the need to say things. And sometimes that catches me off guard. And but honestly, the burnout from all that isn't so bad because it's like I expected some. And I think you already know where I'm going with this one, but it's like Reddit. It's like when I think I'm creating content for a vegan crowd or on Instagram, I had this like diehard, I wouldn't have had a problem with them, vegan activist come at me because I made a post where it was me speaking at an event. And I basically was like, yeah, like I'm vegan for the animals. And then I realized in my journey, because I started just caring about the animals, but there's so much more. Like there's our planet, there's future generations, like the oceans. If we don't take care of that, we're all screwed as a species. So, it's more than just the animals. Like there's so many aspects of this. And their comment was like, no, there's only one aspect. It's vegan for the animals. That's it. The only reason to go vegan is because of the 1949 definition created by so and so about ending the exploitation of animals. And I was like, okay, dude, like, what have you done for activism today other than comment criticism on my post? Like, I hear you. If you watched the whole thing, I never said that it wasn't about being vegan for the animals, just that there's more aspects to it than just one. We are like an ecosystem and animals play into that. And he's like, "Well, I have a bunch of cats, but I don't sit here calling them out and saying that I'm vegan and take care of the cats, but you're using the term incorrectly." And I'm just like,
Ugh.
"All right, once more, do you think your time is best spent trying to educate me on the correct usage of your definition, or should you do something else?" And then I was like, what am I doing now? Now I'm wasting my time. Now this is why I'm burnout, is because I'm giving these people my attention. And it's like they could have been doing something else. And that's
Yeah.
harder. It's like when we're alike and enough and similar enough that we don't want to kill animals, but then somebody thinks I'm not killing animals in the right way when I pretty much eat, breathe, and live trying to encourage other people to not kill animals. Oh, it
Oh
was
yeah.
enough to make me just put my phone down for a minute.
100%, 100%. I get more burnt out with the vegan community than I do with carnivores or omnivorous people. I swear, because to me it's even more annoying from vegans, because it's like we're the minority. We should all be sticking together and helping each other. So it annoys me when someone is saying you're not vegan enough or you're not doing vegan right. To me, that is just the ultimate ugh, just like grinds my gears, as Peter Griffin would say. So, yeah, I feel you on that. And it's not everyone, so I don't want to act like the vegan community and out everybody. It's mostly, these social media keyboard warriors who, give you shit about eating daring chicken instead of a lentil for your protein. And it's like, people go off on that. And it's like, dude, we're all doing our part. And like, who are we trying? Well, you're not trying to make me, you shouldn't be trying to make me a better, healthier vegan. That shouldn't be your goal. Our goal is to get these people who are killing and consuming animal products on the daily to think about eating a more plant-based diet. And sorry, we're not doing that with lentils. We're doing that with stuff like Daring Chicken, Abbott's Chicken, Beyond Burger, stuff like that. Because if they're going through a drive-through ordering a Whopper, I guarantee you they're going to eat a vegan Whopper before they eat a lentil curry. It's just that's who we're working towards. So, and it's like regardless, we're all doing our part. We should all be supporting each other. So yeah, I mean, never ever ever. I love being vegan. Like, best decision I've ever made. Would never get burnt out on that, but I do get burnt out on people's opinions.
Yeah, yeah. And not that it's a dick measuring contest, but this person had 322 followers. So it's like, what are you doing?
All right.
I mean, put out some good content, put out some stuff that engages people and, um, inspires them to do something different versus trying to bring somebody down that's trying to do something different. Um, yeah. Clearly, I'm still a little bitter over this. I wonder
That
if they
I know,
watched the
that's so
podcast.
annoying. That's so annoying. I wish I would have seen it. I would have definitely gotten scrapped up in that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. It's like now I'm part of the problem. I'm getting scrapped up in the comments when I could be making more inspirational stuff and not giving a fuck about what that person thinks. And that's where I should be at. Yeah, we all get to do our own part, and I think for me, the definition for me of vegan has changed over time. At first, it was just don't kill animals because that's the right thing to do, and then I realized, well, the next step is to be a charitable vegan, like give back to some of these organizations that are going to take care of animals. That's great. And then I realized there's a next step, and it's like becoming more of an activist. And I feel like for me, 2024, holy shit, the year's flying by.
Halfway over, yeah.
I was about to say for the last 3 months. Nope, we're 7 months deep now. Possibly 8 by the time y'all hear this. And it's been a year of activism for me. That's what I want to do. I want to, by the head tattoo, by the shirts, by talking to people, by inspiring people, by offering a couple discounts for people to go vegetarian to vegan, or I did offer a meal plan discount for somebody that wasn't vegan. Like, trying to do everything I can to be more of an activist, because if you see a crime on humanity or on animals happening and you just keep your mouth shut and you're not contributing to the crime, you're not really doing anything wrong or negative, but you're also not doing anything to fix it. And I want to use my life to try and fix things. So yeah, uh, not going to let them get to me, but I think you've said it right, Brooke. We're all on the same side here as vegans. And if you're pre-vegan, I'm not against you either. It's just like I don't expect a fellow vegan brother or sister to just come stab me in the back. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, all right. And I think I am almost burnt out on talking about being burnt out.
Seriously.
You had mentioned off air that you had a question. Was that like a question game question, or did you have something written down on the side behind you?
Oh, I did have a question game. We have one more question in our question game. That's it. So
Let's do it.
we need to oh, you
Let
want to do it now? Okay.
yeah, let's end on a different note. We don't need everybody leading off into the world thinking about being burnt out. Let's whatever this question
Oh,
is, hopefully
yeah,
it's
this will be
yeah.
good. This will be a positive ending. Okay, what was your favorite toy growing up?
Ah.
I love dinosaurs. I had all sorts of little
Ooh.
dinosaurs.
Man, how am I gonna pick one?
I know.
Because I had different phases. How old were you when you played with dinosaurs? We'll start there.
Oh gosh, preschool, kindergarten?
Okay, so not like high school, but like okay, no.
No, yeah. I think of
Um,
toys, I think of like little kids. I
yeah,
don't think of like
yeah.
games as like toys. I don't
No,
know.
that's fair.
Like
I
something
think
Santa would bring you.
I had a Thomas the Tank Engine tank set, or not tank set, train set. And,
Yeah.
like, you had a little pieces of wood that you could, like, match together. You could build a little bridge that would go over some of the wood, and then you could take and you could drag the little thing around it. That was fun.
It makes me
Oh,
think of Lincoln
man.
Logs. Did you play with Lincoln Logs?
A little bit, yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
those were
yeah, they had different links and man,
yeah, and they
beautifully
came with like
designed.
little horses and stuff. Yeah.
My dad got me for Christmas one year the coolest, like, Jurassic Park electric race car track. It even had, like, a little T-Rex that would, like, drop down and, like, try and catch your car. But I guess it was broken because, like, the next day it was boxed up and gone, and I never saw it again. But, like, I remember setting it up, but I don't know what happened. I mean, I was young. I was probably, like, 4 or 5. Like, it probably was broken and needed to be returned, and maybe it was the last one. I don't know, but I
Bummer.
remember that much.
Yeah, I love Jurassic Park. That was my shit.
I liked BB guns. I don't know if those are considered toys, but you
Yeah.
could shoot those
I
a
would say
lot.
yeah.
I shot my brother once, and that was not a very nice thing to do because those things hurt. Like, they're metal, and, like, this was a CO2 powered gun. Like, I shouldn't have, but I'm also impulsive and stupid. So I made a bet with alright, not I made an agreement with him. If he wouldn't tell on me, I would shoot myself. So I shot myself in the leg, and it really hurt. So, oh, to be
Oh my gosh.
stupid and, like, 12 again.
I know. Those were the problems. Like we thought we had problems, but man, those were the problems to have.
No, no. I mean, we played a lot outside. We'd dig like ditches, and oh, my dad built us a tree house once, like a legit tree house, like 15 feet
Oh,
up in the air with a zip line. Like my dad could do some shit. Um, like it was there until those really bad hurricanes came, and then that blew it down. But like it was there for a while, like a number of years.
that's
Um,
cool. We had a really sketchy treehouse. It was like nothing like that. It was like we were terrified to go up there and fall through it, basically.
jeez.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
my dad
probably had
worked in
termites.
oh gosh. He worked in construction, so, like, he had, like, showed me the blueprints and everything. I was like, "How do you know how to do this?" Like, he just like, "Okay, there's 3 trees here, that's gonna be our support beams, and put the plywood here and the roof here." I'm like, "Alright." But, yeah.
That's
Alright,
impressive, yeah.
well, I gotta go eat. I'm about to train with, Yabonks, AKA his real name, Alex, and Rachel Next Level Fit. So super excited to see them and get some training in. Did you already train today? I know you like training earlier.
Today's my rest day, which
Rest
is such a
day.
bummer. Yeah, but I'm gonna
Oh,
do some cardio.
well, clearly you're not burnout since you're excited about it.
Yes.
We love the training. It's the
Yeah.
cardio and the dieting and all the other shit, the consuming your 24/7 of your life that's a little bit harder. But all right. That was it. That was burnout. Brooke, you're awesome. You don't know how much you help me. You inspire me through showing me how you take care of yourself, and I'd be such a hypocrite if I sit here and cheer you on for taking care of you and then not at least try to take care of myself. So keep it up, dude. You don't even know. Don't even know. Um, all right, everybody. We are going to do a Q&A episode soon. I don't know when, but drop your questions, veganswholivepodcast.com. You can record yourself and then we'll get to play it and play it back for you and answer it for you. And this has been another awesome episode of the Vegans Who Live podcast. Make sure you subscribe, send it to all your people, hit us up. We'd love to hear other topics that y'all want to see. And with that, y'all have the absolute best freaking day ever. If you're burnt out, go do something different. I'm out.